So in this video, I thought I'd talk about what it's like to move from a mountain bike or cross hybrid, which I've ridden for 10,000 kilometers, to a road bike. For those of you familiar with the channel, you're probably wondering why I'm riding a road bike. So don't worry, the mountain bike isn't going away. I just wanted a gravel bike for the longest time. Couldn't really find one in this situation. So I decided to buy a road bike. This is a 2015 Scott Speedster 10.
When I recorded these clips, I had ridden this bike, which happens to be my first road bike, for a little over 300 kilometers in the 3 weeks since I'd bought it. I'm editing this video much later. It's now 3 months since I've had this bike and I've ridden it for a little over 1,000 kilometers. So you're going to get both my initial impressions as well as my thoughts and experiences after having ridden the bike for a not insignificant amount of time. Now, when you start riding a road bike after riding an MTB, you'd be forgiven for thinking that it's going to instantly make you significantly faster, making longer distances far easier to cover. That's exactly what I expected. But it may not be that straightforward. We're going to talk about the importance of a bike fit, gearing, and to start off with, where you can ride your bike.
So another thing, obvious difference with road bikes of course, is the tires. Narrow tires, high pressure, and on roads like this, superb, nothing better, like a knife through butter. But on bad roads, it's like you're riding somewhere else entirely, like you've never ridden this city. With the MTB, I would, just roll through potholes, through ruts, full speed over speed breakers. Bad roads were not even a concern. And when road bikers would tell me, how's the road condition? The roads are bad. I would think like, what's the problem? Just a few bad roads. That's all right. But on this bike, oh man, it's like you're riding through craters of the moon. The bumps like travel up your arms, into your shoulders. It's terrible. Kind of slows you down as well, not like you're riding fast through them. It's not a pleasant experience. So even though you're on a road bike, it'd actually be a lot slower, I think, on sections like that. Now granted, I'm new, not holding the bike in the right way maybe, but that's the not so good part. And in a city like Pune, you want to ride far, you're going to encounter these bad roads all over the place. So definitely something to keep in mind. Now of course the posture is different, the riding posture, the most obvious change. But what you may not realize is how bad a bad bike fit can make you feel. So I think a bad fit or bad saddle height, bad handle height is much more forgiving in the case of a mountain bike. But on a road bike, man, it's something else. When I bought this bike and drove it home from the store, I thought I'd made a huge mistake. I couldn't ride for more than 30 minutes. I had to take a break. My arms were killing me. My palms were killing me. And I made a few adjustments to fix that. But yeah, bad fit, much less forgiving on a road bike. And road bikes, typically built for speed, have higher ratios that are higher than what you get in an MTB, sometimes a lot higher. And the lower ratios, they don't go as low. Like on this bike, which isn't that aggressive actually, runs a compact chain set, missing the granny gear, so it's got only 2 in front. Has the lowest ratio, a little over 1, whereas my MTB had a lowest ratio of 0.8, 0.85. So on gradual inclines, say about 5 to 6%, I find this bike to be really handy, really nifty. It's much easier to climb on this one. But on harder gradients, say that go to be 7-8% or more, I find myself reaching for that granny gear which I don't have. Now, it is a matter of fitness, a matter of conditioning, getting used to, climbing with the harder gear. But as of now, I'm just about making it. I think with time it'll get a little better. I'd probably hate to do Pabigat on this one though. So those were my thoughts at 300 kilometers. Here's how I feel about 1,000 kilometers on. So on this bike, I've been able to beat a 3-year-old climbing PR up Babdev Ghat by about 15%. But that didn't happen overnight. And I didn't just get on this bike and get instantly faster. I got used to pushing a harder gear, lost about 6 kilos of weight. I got fitter. The bike is lighter as well. And well, this is the result. Now I still find myself clicking in vain for my missing lowest gears, but I'm no longer worried about not having enough gears to make it up a climb. So I'm really thrilled with that change. Now as far as comfort on the bike is concerned and the riding posture, I've gotten used to it. So on shorter rides I feel just fine. But at about the 50 or 60 kilometer mark, my back starts to hurt a bit. Still, that's a huge improvement from being unable to ride even 10 kilometers, which was the case with my first ride. So if you're experiencing something like this, make sure you give yourself time to adapt, make a few adjustments to the bike, and then after riding for a bit, you could consider going in for a bike fit. Now as far as road type is concerned, unfortunately there hasn't been much of a change there. I'm always looking for good tarmac. There are many fantastic routes I think I'd like to rediscover on this bike, but after remembering what the road conditions were like, I know they probably wouldn't be as enjoyable as they were on the hybrid. I have taken this bike out on trails. The bike has performed well enough, but I'm concerned about wearing out or cutting up the tires. On my daily exercise rides, I would go on to small gravel routes, kind of like this one, ride by canals or ride by railway tracks, and that no longer happens. So if you want a bike that you can use to explore the beautiful outskirts of a city like Pune, a road bike probably shouldn't be your weapon of choice, and you should be looking for a gravel bike. Having said that, there are still plenty of routes I can enjoy in Pune on a bike like this. So do I regret buying a road bike? Not one bit. I'm enjoying the road biking life. In many ways, it's like rediscovering the joys of cycling. Even riding the same routes again, well, those that I've tried and those that I can, has been a completely different experience. I'm enjoying getting faster, getting fitter, getting some training in. Not like you can't do that on an MTB, just feels more natural on a bike like this. So if somebody asks me road bike or MTB, I would say both. As a cyclist, you got to have both in your life. You got to experience both. And the only disadvantage has been that it has sort of, here's the breaker coming up. Oh, jeez. You got to be careful. The only disadvantage is that it has reset my cycle-related spending. So I got a new pump, got new lights, got new bib shorts, got a new jersey, and I think I need to buy a new bottle, maybe some new gloves, bar tape. Yeah. You road bikers will know what I'm talking about.